Okay, so this is just going to be a little side-by-side comparison of Resident Evil Code Veronica across all three major platforms. The first one will be the PlayStation 3 version, which is also the newest. You'll see how dark the colors are, and the widescreen presentation is just like a zoomed-in version of the original Dreamcast game. And then you'll see one big major feature of the PS3 game is that it's real-time lighting and shadow. They have it on PS3, so you can actually see shadows from like gel cell bars and things like that, like transport onto the ground when you walk near them. You'll also see shadows from yourself cast against the wall. The other two versions of the game, which were also older versions, they don't have this. But with that, the PlayStation 3 version is so dark so that you can see these shadows that a lot of detail is just left out of the game. And when you see the Dreamcast version and the PlayStation 2 version, which is just like a port of the Dreamcast version, you'll see so many more details in that game just because it isn't like overly dark. The in-game content, I think, looks a lot better on Dreamcast. Again, you can see the things on the walls, large amounts of details that just cannot be seen in the PS3 game just because of its darkness. You'll see an example like right here where the bricks and Joel's holding cell. In the original game, you can actually see like part of the wall is like broken away, like the plaster stucco part, and you're going to see the bricks underneath of it. You can't see it at all in the PlayStation 3 version. Now, the PlayStation 3 version does have a lot more red in it, a lot more color saturation, especially in wood, and in the original cutscene where you have your jailer there letting you out of your jail cell, he looks more orange than anything else, or more red. Now, the original game might look a little more washed out. This is the Dreamcast game by comparison, but I think it's just, in contrast, of the PlayStation 3 version. When you see the original, you're like, oh, well, that looks washed out. But in my opinion, I think it looks way better. I also think that the PS2 version stays faithful to the source material. It's almost a one-for-one port of the original game, even if the control schemes are slightly changed. The PlayStation 2 does, however, make the full motion video, like the cinematics, larger in presentation. It fills up more of your display screen. On the Dreamcast version, it's letterbox, both 16:9 and 4:3, so you kind of get like a smaller view. Now, by the end of this, you're going to tell that I'm more biased towards the original on Dreamcast, just because I think while you're playing it in game, it scales really well to modern monitors. Like, I'm playing all these at 1440p. If you're able to play any version of this, play it. I would say play the Dreamcast version first, or, the PS2 version. If all that you have is a PS3, play it, because it's better than nothing at all. The PlayStation 2 version does have a couple of extra cutscenes in it, and one extra boss fight. I believe it's with Wesker. They call it the Code Veronica X version. But other than that, all the games are identical, except for in presentation. I think Capcom, if they're the ones who did it, the PlayStation 3 version, I think they tried to make it better, try to make it widescreen, so it feels, modern TVs. I just think that the way they did it, the oversaturation of color, the over darkness, I think it just killed it for me. But everybody has their own opinion, and this is mine.
What are you doing here?
Chris Redfield. Is he a relative of yours or something?
You mean my brother?
Ah, your siblings. Well, it seems your brother is under surveillance by Umbrella.
What? I've got to contact Leon and tell him to let my brother know he's being monitored. It's a good thing I have access to an outside connection from here.
Well, that file shows the latitude and longitude of this place. Why don't you send your brother the coordinates and ask him to come help?
Thanks, I'll do that.
Hey, I was just kidding. There's no way he could get here, even if he is your brother.
Yes, he can, I'm sure of it.
No way. He won't come. You'll just end up disappointed if you rely on others. Believe me, I know.